You're one of the people I appreciate out there because you're thinking outside the
Ahead
box.
of anybody, where
Right.
everybody's talking about leave it to the private sector and Washington consensus and the best government is the least government. I mean, for me, I'll be very blunt. That's really not just outdated thinking and wrong. It's lazy.
It's
basically-
self-defeating, I would say.
Yeah, basically, what is that? What is the philosophy behind that thinking?
Yep.
Our government is lousy in industrial policy and doing things, so leave it to the private sector. Shouldn't the argument be then, shouldn't we make the government better rather than just say, get out? So what?
You give
I have
up
a
on it.
toothache, I'll blow off my tooth rather than go to a dentist. Certain things belong in government and certain things belong to the private sector. For example, infrastructure is not just to fit a backlog. In a proper country, it spurs development. That is not profitable in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back, they teach this in engineering classes in the US. Not that I'm an engineer, no, I'm not, but still, I'm told. The most successful, now 70 years, almost 80 years infrastructure
Right.
project is the interstate highway system in the US.
It's Eisenhower.
Yeah, the
era,
Eisenhower started that because when he was a colonel in the late 1930s, he was told, can you move some full troops with armor and everything from, I believe, the East Coast to the West Coast, just in case we have to front, we decide the war is in this front or that front or two fronts. And it took him 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And he said, this is horrible. And it really put people at risk. So you basically had to duplicate things and arm on both sides. Now, so when he became president, he said, I want national infrastructure development, the interstate highway system. And here we are. This started, I think, 1954 after it was passed. And here we are, literally 70 years later.
Yeah.
It's still going. And if you look, they used to call the southern states and some of the Midwest states the flyover states, because you just fly over from the east to the west and the west to the east and the north to the south, but not in the middle. Now, if you go back, traditionally, car assembly was in Michigan.
Right.
Now you see it in Tennessee and Alabama and all these places. Why? Because of the infrastructure that was built. And that was not profitable. It was not toll roads. It was not made to meet a backlog. It was to anticipate and spur development. That cannot be left to the private sector because it is not profitable.
Yeah.
So we need that kind of thinking, and that cannot be in the private sector. Who will build an airport in a place nobody goes to? Not the private sector. But should you? Yes, because it might spur development if it turns out to be an agriculturally rich community or someplace where there are natural resources to develop, or even good tourism. But it won't be profitable for at least 10, 20 years. But that's why you have development. It's anticipatory. Even in business school, we learn about loss leaders.
Right.
Not everything has to be profitable immediately. And government may not do it very well, but they'll do it. While the private sector will not do something
no incentive
that
for
has
them,
no profit motive unless you artificially give them a profit.